Waklam, once again, ladies and gentlemen. I have a question. I need to ask. Kristen, do you know what the question is?
If you want to borrow money, you can't.
Nope. It's can we talk about Gem and the Holograms? Actually.
Oh, we could do that.
And yeah, I think we could talk about Gem and the Holograms. Welcome once again to Can We Talk About Gem (parentheses on the Holograms), the podcast where we take a nice look into the horrible calamity that is 80s cartoon, air quotes classic, Gem and the Holograms. I am the Jane of this calamity. I am Calamity Joe.
I'm Calamity Kristen, but Calamity with a K.
Oh, yeah, you the old double K.
Yeah, like ye old MySpace days.
Is that what?
That was the thing people used to do. They would alliterate their first name into edgy shit.
Oh, right, of course. The old, I think you mean the old high school days is probably a good one there.
Well, in high school when I used MySpace.
And yeah, when anybody used MySpace. But yep, we're here. We're watching Gem and the Holograms. We're watching Gem and the Holograms via Shout Factory's Gem and the Holograms, a totally outrageous complete series box set series box. And if you're joining the story already in progress, then you only need to know that last episode, Kimber had a rebellion that completely overshadowed the noted bitch and orphan Ashley's rebellion. So
yeah, not as notable of a rebellion. There can only be one.
But a rebellion nonetheless. You know, when it comes down to it, if I'm the guy running the story, do I want to run bitch, child, orphan runs away, or do I want to run popular singer's sister goes solo?
Well, it's a cartoon, not a Lifetime movie.
True. But wouldn't Gem be great if it were a Lifetime movie?
Oh my god, then Rio would be like an actual abusive boyfriend.
Right, yeah, it would be the burning bed. That's all it would come down to.
Yeah, and Jericho would actually have, like, dissociative identity disorder.
Gem would use synergy to use her lasers to set her house on fire. That's what happened. That's how it would end. Instead of Zipper setting Starlight Mansion on fire, it would be synergy shooting eye lasers, but it would be in the style of a Lifetime movie, so it would be taken completely seriously.
Joe, I think you need to delete all of that from the podcast, and we got to write it down and start doing some pitch meetings.
We're not going to have Lifetime steal our ideas. Not again.
Yeah, so we got to hold for editing now.
Okay, good hold. Good hold. And no, we weren't talking about anything, so don't worry about it.
What are we doing this week?
Well, this week we're not gonna be doing rebellioning. There's gonna be some intrigue, some mystery, perhaps, or they might hang up pictures because the episode is called Frame Up, and I'm not sure what that means.
You were saying, upon actually watching this episode, which we have determined at this point everyone should have if they're listening.
Everyone should have done at this point.
To the podcast, we think that Framed with an exclamation point is a better name.
Yes, Framed, just exclamation point, would have been a better name than Frame Up, because I'm not sure, was Frame Up a common phrase in the 80s or something? That just isn't...
It sounded to me like something that has to do with, like, show business, but I'm not savvy enough to know what exactly.
Yeah, now that you say it, Frame Up sounds kind of like, they're going to frame the set. They're going to be filming a scene.
Yeah, something like that.
And maybe they're drawing up plans for what their concert is going to be at the Battle of the Bands or whatever.
So there is some precedent, maybe theoretically. That's good enough for me.
Perhaps, I don't know, but yeah. Even though you watched the episode already, audience, I'm talking to you now, audience. Feel free to watch along with us, either through supporting the lovely people at Shout Factory, which I am not paid to say, but because they release Mystery Science Theater and Super Sentai and Gem, and I love all of those things, and you should love them too, because if you don't, I'm not going to question your life decisions, but you should love them.
Shout Factory is like your Santa Claus.
It is. It really is. I believe I said at one point all they need to do is get the license to Game Center CX, and they would have literally everything that I like. I'm pretty sure.
So they're really close to just... They could ask you to do... They could ask you to kill a man.
And they'll be like, we'll give you all of the Mystery Science that we put out on DVD, and I'll be like, I got it. I'm good. Give me... What am I doing?
Yeah, you're hiding bodies for the Shout Factory, like, CEO at some point.
So maybe I am being paid to say this, but you don't know that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Or you can watch it on Netflix if you want, which it might still be on Netflix. It might not be. Again, I'm not here to do research for you. I'm just the podcast man.
Podcastman.
I'm Joe Podcastman, and I am not here to do research for you other than on the subject at hand, which is Gem, which I guess kind of falls under that criteria, but I'm too lazy to actually look at, Hulu or Google Video or whatever and be like, there's an episode of Gem on there.
I feel like this podcast is an issue with semantics. I know, we're only 4 episodes in. Maybe I'm, like, getting ahead of myself, but I feel like at least several times an episode, I feel myself wanting to say, I don't want to talk about this anymore, let's keep going.
when it's our job to talk about it, Kristen. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not talking about anything yet.
That's true. We're only talking about where to possibly find Jem, and I believe I listed all of the things that I know, at least. So buy the DVDs, which Shout Factory did not pay me to say, and buy the Mystery Science DVDs, which they are paying me to say.
And now we're moving on.
But yes, frame up. The rebellion is over. We're back to the normal theme song, and that's a signal to watch the episode if you haven't already. But as we said, this is, you watch the episode. We're good. Mm-hmm. And, I think I'll just play the theme song now.
So I feel like I might have mentioned it in the last episode. If not, I've definitely said it to you. I had this feeling when we did the episode with Twilight in Paris that we hear that song 5 million times.
Yes.
And I think part of that is actually that it's the first thing that plays in the last episode. I'm like, oh, there's Twilight in Paris again, just in case you forgot. Paris.
Yeah, and yeah, that is how, basically how we start this episode. We're just starting right into Twilight in Paris, which, we got to go over a recap of what happened during Kimber's rebellion. Which, did they mention it? I don't remember if they
actually mentioned Kimber's rebellion.
They mentioned that they go on the Lindsay Pierce show, but they don't mention the fact that they needed to go find Kimber to get her for the Lindsay Pierce show.
Everyone forgot already.
And one of the first things I have written down here is that in the recap, Lindsay is referred to as a video jockey, which means that she's, a VJ, which means she's no better than some MTV asshole.
I wrote that down too. What I actually wrote was a little bit more brief, which was video jockey, oh my god.
Also very, very apt, which, I don't know, were MTV video jockeys big in the VJs? Were they big in the 80s?
I feel like you would know better than me. Like, if we're actually having a serious conversation about, like, pop culture in the 80s, I'm not quite as brushed up as you are.
Let's be honest here. We were both born in the 90s, so that's not something that, it's not exactly our ballpark.
We just watched a lot of the VH1 I Love the series when we were in, like, middle school.
Right, yeah, that's how I know of such things, like MTV referring to their people as VJs.
I also watched a decent amount of TRL.
I never did, because,
I was a teenager.
Yeah, you were a teenager at one point. I don't know what that is.
You were just born fully formed with your beard already there.
Yep, I was there, and I was watching Japanese shows, so I never got the chance.
Yeah, you've been embarrassing your whole life. I've had to work at it a little bit.
Right, exactly. But yeah, Jem's about to die. If I don't know if
usual.
I don't know if we missed that part, but she's got a light that's falling on her, and Rio thinks the best means of rescuing her, getting on a camera crane and like having a guy really Rio barely did any saving. It was all the guy operating the camera crane.
Yeah, he gets on the thing and screams, "Take me over there," and points.
Which perfect direction.
And the crane guy, God bless him, is like, "Got it, Mr. Pacheco."
and Rio did basically nothing, and other than like I guess pick up Jem and set her back down, and that was it. He the crane guy moved the crane like 2 feet away from the falling light, and everybody's safe.
Yeah, she seemed about ready to pass out, and at first I'm always kind of like, stop being so dramatic, but then I think about it a little bit more, and I'm like, all of these near-death experiences would probably exhaust me too, so can't really hate on Jem too much.
Yeah, and a guy comes over, I guess unaware of the situation at hand, because he just goes right up to Lindsay and he's like, "Hey, we gotta come back from commercial." Like somebody almost didn't just die.
Live television trumps human life. Though, I did want to point out, because we mentioned that Kimber's Rebellion was not really mentioned at all in the recap, the first thing that they say is like, "Oh, holograms, can you help me finish the show?" And Kimber's like, "Without Jem?" So I call it Kimber's anti-rebellion.
Yeah, wow, I didn't even catch that at the time, but yeah, Kimber seems she's fully back in the Jem boat, further escalating the fact that her rebellion just did not matter.
Once again, subservient to her older sister.
That, once again, we often forget is her older sister.
Yep. Who? What?
Yeah, what? Kimber's just Kimber. She's the one with the weird red hair.
She's adopted.
And yeah, we go to Jem. She's on a couch, I guess fainted from nearly dying again, having fever dreams from all these near-death experiences, going, Misfits, stop!
Yeah, that creeped me out a little bit. I wrote, what kind of dream are you having? Calm down.
Well, it wasn't a sexy dream, was it?
This might be a weird reference to make, but it like vaguely reminds me of how when you're playing one of our favorite games, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, and there's that escort mission with Eva near the end of the game, you can knock her out, and she just lays there going, "Oh, boss."
Wow. Well, is there some weird like brewing rivalry love between Jem and the Misfits?
Yes.
Because honestly, who wouldn't fall for Pizzazz and her loud-ass demeanor?
I like girls scream at me.
Who knew all
That's
along
ideal.
what she wanted right in front of her, screaming in her face?
Rio does it often enough.
Very true. Maybe that's why she likes Rio so much.
So I'm going like batting 1,000 with these references here. When Jem and Rio kiss after she wakes up, I wrote "kiss, kiss, fall in love."
Terrible. Take a hike. Get out.
Okay, I'll see you later.
There's an uncomfortable close-up of Rio before they kiss too, which I wanted to make sure I put in there because uncomfortable close-ups in cartoons are my favorite.
Oh, I hate when they do that. So, well, yeah, they get walked in on after that, and everyone's all giggly. And I think Rio or someone else tells him to go check out the equipment or something. And in my notes, I wrote, "Yeah, Rio, check your equipment."
It was Rio who, as his excuse, was going, "Oh, I gotta go check the equipment." To which
check your equipment.
To which I said, Rio needs to check the equipment when he is already checking the equipment.
Yep. Boom.
And, you know, this is when I forget if it's Shayna or Raja that is just in there and is just like, wow, it's going to be really awkward when Rio finds out. And Jem's like, it's not funny. I can't tell him.
Yeah, she realizes that perhaps kissing her boyfriend as her alter ego, again, not the smartest thing she could have done at that moment if her goal is not to deceive Rio.
Right. And this is where like all the bullshit reasons start to, like, you know, she's just saying like, oh, he's so proud. I wouldn't want to make a fool of him.
He does a fine job of that himself.
Does she not realize that the longer that the charade goes on, that it's going to be just worse?
Clearly not, because they don't really bring up the dilemma again until the third season.
No, it's, yeah, well, I mean, every once in a while you get something like, oh no, can't find out that, or no, yeah, it kind of, in general, it just becomes like, oh, we can't let the public know that Jerrica is Jem, instead of, oh, we can't let Rio know that Jerrica is Jem.
It's season 3 specifically, where she is like, I'm beginning to think this might have some long-term effects on my relationship with Rio. Maybe.
I mean, shit, Jerrica, you won the Indy 500 between those 2 points. I think, I don't know, God, you met the president knows who Jem is, and Rio doesn't.
Well, you want to take the ladder of importance. It goes president, a really long list of people, and then somewhere near the bottom is Rio.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All of this drama and everything, I do enjoy that in the next scene when a weird kitchen wench lady comes in to talk to Jerrica. Her response is, "What's up?" Like, she got over all that trauma very quickly.
Yeah, she's back to just, you know, being normal Jerrica. And yeah, this lady who I don't know if she shows up next episode or like ever again, but she's there to deliver the exposition that Ashley's always leaving.
Yeah, like they couldn't have one of the orphans say it or something.
Well,
the other orphans don't like Ashley either.
That's true. They think she's a bitch and they'd rather her be gone. But I don't think there's an orphan that genuinely cares for Ashley.
Yeah, but like Jerrica then goes and attempts for like about 15 seconds to talk to Ashley about this like genuinely troubling behavior, and then is told to leave. Well,
first of all, let's talk about the fact that Ashley has a Misfits t-shirt, and for some reason she thinks that Jerrica seeing her with the Misfits t-shirt would be a crime against humanity, because she just hides it under her pillow before Jerrica comes in. And yeah, Jerrica attempts, she's just like, hey, here, you've been having some problems, buddy. And then I forget who comes in and is just like, hey, Jerrica, you gotta go talk to the big Texas man. And she's like, oh, well, gotta go. Ashley, talk to you again sometime.
Yeah, that was really quickly. And it's actually kind of a shame that she left so soon, because she missed Ashley's. I'm sure she had this in her pocket the whole time, ready to set it loose. But then she had to say that Jerrica could talk to the wall after Jerrica had already left.
Which is a fucking ice burn. Ashley just really cranking it up. Just really bringing the heat to Jerrica, who was not there to feel it. So honestly, it was a wasted burn.
It's a practice run for later.
Just, you know, fucking in her Misfits t-shirt. She's been saying it to the mirror all day.
Yep, and it was at this point after I wrote Mr. I Got a Cowboy Hat, hot cha-cha-cha, which was my note for the man in the next scene who has a cowboy hat, that I realized upon my second time watching this episode, I wrote, did I already take notes for this? Because that cowboy hat seemed really familiar.
Yes, we watched this episode together a while ago, but then a while had passed since, so I remembered that I already took notes for this episode, but
I totally forgot.
Kristen forgot. And for the record, I referred to Mr. Cowboy Hat Man Ha-Cha-Cha-Cha as Texas fuck.
A little bit further down, there were my original notes that I did not erase from the top of the episode, and instead of I'm Mr. I Got a Cowboy Hat, ha-cha-cha-cha, I wrote, I'm a very busy cowboy man.
And he was, because he's here to wheel and deal with Gem and the Holograms. He's signed them to a concert in Las Vegas, where they're there's going to be a big old concert, and they're going to have an opening act, but who could the opening act be, Kristen?
And my note is, oh shit, it's the Misfits!
The Misfits are opening for Gem and the Holograms, which gets the appropriate reaction out of Gem and the Holograms, with them going, what the fuck?
Saying they hate us, and Mr. Cowboy Man Hat's reaction is, no! Which is a shitty thing to say.
Well, the reason he provides is, I like to see sparks fly.
Yeah, and I feel like this episode has gone from 0 to 80 pretty quick.
Well, what did they do so far? It was Gem having fever dreams. It was Ashley being a bitch, which is all par for the course. And then all of a sudden, whoa! Confrontation with the Misfits. They're going to be doing a concert together.
Yeah, and then they have a good laugh about how they know that the Misfits being the warm-up act for Gem and the Holograms is going to make the Misfits really mad.
Yeah, Shayna thinks that that's going to be just so hilarious. And my question to Shayna is, how hilarious is murder?
Yeah, like she's, once again, every time you anger Pizzazz, it's welcoming devil into your home.
Just lightning bolts are going to hit everybody, and it's just going to be a bad time. And another thing I've noted here, Mr. Big Texas, he also says holograms.
This is gonna bug me. What if it turns out that the entire series, everyone says it like that, and we just never noticed?
I honestly don't think so. I'm pretty sure they change it. Otherwise, I think either of us would notice after, the fucking 60 episodes or whatever, watching them at least once, going, I think it might be Gem and the Holograms.
It's very strange, because I'm pretty sure that's not how you say that word.
And, so the next scene, Big Texas, he is telling the Misfits now, hey, you're opening for a great new band. And they're like, oh, who is it? Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah, well, they freak out, and I said he starts to shuffle away like he knows he's a dead man.
Yeah, he does. He's going to deliver his I love seeing sparks fly line while, like, stepping backwards with his hands out in the air, like, all right, don't hurt me, I'm not armed.
Please don't shoot.
And then he leaves.
And there's a little bit of squabbling, and my favorite part about the scene is that in the middle of them trying to figure out what to do, Pizzazz just goes, shut up!
She doesn't even put that much, spirit into it. Roxy's talking, and Pizzazz just goes, shut up, I have an idea.
Yeah, well, it's very plain.
Right.
It's actually a little bit mean.
It seems like it's just normal conversation. Pizzazz isn't even angry. She's just like, I'm trying to speak right now. Let me speak.
And shut up is Pizzazz's, pardon me, but...
As she would. But we find that the Misfits have evil plans to use Ashley for. So, par for the course again.
Uh-huh.
A good thing for the Misfits is Ashley just kind of comes to them. I guess I understand why, because, again, Jericho was a fucking idiot and didn't talk to this orphan who needs her attention. And she escapes and runs into, I guess, wherever the Misfits are. And Pizzazz answers the door when Ashley knocks by saying, buzz off.
That's how I answered the door, too, to be perfectly fair.
And but once they find out it's Ashley, they let her in, and Pizzazz just goes, hey, Ashley, you want to go to Las Vegas?
And Ashley's like, hell yeah, hitting the slots.
And for some reason...
Making money for the honor jar.
So if Eric didn't have enough money to send the Misfits to France... I guess, they're technically... We confirmed that this is California, so they could probably drive to Las Vegas if they wanted to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so alright, so it's not that much of a problem. But yeah, they're bringing a small girl to Las Vegas, and while Pizzazz is relaying this innocent-sounding plan, I guess, because, Ashley doesn't know she's in any trouble yet, the other two Misfits are giggling in the background, but it's a laugh that's played twice, so I don't know what they're trying to do. And they're playing it, really loud, so I don't know who mixed the sound for that part, but didn't work very well.
Plot twist, Roxy and Stormer are actually androids.
That's a good twist.
I'm
I like
sorry
that one.
to spoil it for you. Yeah, that's my dream season 4 plot.
I was gonna say yes. That's the season 4 reveal, along with a fifth Misfit and a 90th hologram. And I just said that they might have driven to Las Vegas, but they show animation of them getting on a plane and then running off a plane with their arms like out in the air, like they're trying to greet a crowd of fans that just aren't there. They just cut to a different scene of them driving. Then
I wrote, "Travel is actually this easy." To be fair, I know right now in the United States, airplane travel is much more difficult than it's ever been, but I don't think it was ever as easy as they show. As running onto a plane, running off a plane, waving your arms.
You'd think if you saw people running off of a plane waving their arms that there was a fire or something.
Well, no, just they're so excited about Las Vegas.
And who wouldn't be? Because the first thing that they show them doing is sitting in a casino, just having a very awkward scene between Shayna and Jem, being like, "Hey, you should probably tell Rio you're Jem." And Jem going, again, kind of retreading old ground by going, "I don't really want to."
Deception!
Merely as a lead into the first song, Deception, because I guess they didn't want to... Like, do you think that, they turned in the script and it was just like, well, they're getting off a plane and then we're getting to the first song. We need something here.
Was it not believable enough that Jericho would still be ruminating on this decision without someone prompting her to think about it?
Kids are stupid, Kristen. We needed to...
Yeah, that's true.
Just, we needed to go right through there and start a song. Deception. Number 1, Deception.
I really like Deception.
I'm not big on Deception. My life seems like it's nothing but deception, which is a very apt line for basically the entire series.
I'm kind of weird. I first started listening to it and I'm like, the song's dumb. And then by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, yeah, Deception.
Yeah,
I think maybe I like it because it implies that something bad is happening to Rio.
Well, I mean, in the visuals of the song, Jem and Jerica are both in the song, and they're fucking pulling Rio from both directions in multiple kinds of scenes. And at one point, Rio does like he goes all black and white and he breaks apart So, I think, yeah, that's pretty up your alley, I would say.
Yeah. I wrote a couple of things here that I think are great points just for the theme of this song in general, not necessarily the visuals as much, but one of the things is you've been Jem for a week. For less than a week, right? Because Battle of the Bands hasn't happened yet. Or was that in a month that they were going to do that?
The Battle of the Bands was 6 months, I'm pretty sure.
Whoa! Okay, well, it's still not that long.
In keeping true with Jem lore and having no idea when stuff happens, I'm fairly certain...
The passage of time makes
fairly certain Eric Raymond said 6 months.
But then, and I put, at this point, are we supposed to care about Rio's feelings? And then, as I came to my senses midway through, I wrote, upon reflection and knowing Rio's actions later in the series, this is actually very reasonable of Jerica. She is right to be afraid.
Yeah, well, he kicks over a potted plant. Spoiler alert.
More than once, I think.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Repeat offender.
That man is a tried and true potted plant kicker.
Menace to society.
And there's, the normal music video things that happen, like Rio has laser eyes at one point.
Normal.
Jem's just grabbing any dude she sees, so does Jerica.
I like Jem's neck cuff thing.
I like Jem and Jerica's carrot dress that I have written down here at one point, which is just a very orange dress with green fishnets.
Beautiful.
Carrot dress.
Like I designed it myself.
Yep. a true Kristen design. And also I've written here in regards to Rio being pulled apart, it's like it's Mortal Kombat, which I'm fairly certain was a fatality once.
Yeah! Rio in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, rip him up.
His assist is the crane operator. There aren't assists in Mortal Kombat.
They don't have assists in Mortal Kombat.
I know. Everyone's gonna think I'm a faker.
No, that's okay. And I definitely have that this cannot be real because, Jem and Jerica in the same place at the same time.
Oh yeah, not real, so glad put the stamp on it.
Yeah, put the not real stamp on Deception, especially since also it doesn't transition into anything else in the story. It's just kind of there. And well, now we go to the part with the Misfits again, where they're trying to psych Ashley up for the plan by using 2 different tactics. But then again, it's Stormer and Roxy trying to convince her with, Stormer going, "Don't worry, it's just we're playing a little joke on them," and then Roxy going, "What are you scared?"
They're a good cop, bad cop in her.
But they're doing it too quickly. They're not letting her reply.
She's an orphan. Who cares?
Yeah, so the plan is to lure one of the holograms away. I guess Aja is the first one that they find. I don't think it was specifically supposed to be Aja.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they were hunting her down or anything.
No, but when Aja sees Ashley, she has the very specific reaction of, Ashley, comma, what are you doing in Las Vegas?
And the obvious answer to that is she's hitting up the strip clubs and winning cash for the owner at the casino. Obviously.
Though, yeah, who would have thought that this is the perfect way to get $30, is to spend money that you don't have already to try and get more money?
It's flawless logic. I don't see a problem with it.
So Ashley runs away. Aja chases her right into the luggage area of a bus that's about to pull off, and they trap Aja in there, and she gone. Forever. That she's put on, literally, you know how there's the TV tropes thing of put on a bus? Aja literally forcefully put on a bus. Or unknowingly put on a bus, I guess.
Too many blue-haired people in the series. Bye.
we got to fill our blue quota, and we already got Stormer, so get out.
Whoops, but that's not what happens.
And also, I noticed that Making Mischief, there's like a Making Mischief motif in the background for the background music.
I think it's more like making kidnapping, but...
Yeah, at this point, you know, it's not a harmless joke like Stormer wants you to believe. They're literally trapping this woman with luggage. And no, they said the bus is going to New York. So Aja's trapped in the luggage compartment of this bus for God knows how long. She could be dead, quite honestly.
She's getting trapped under a piece of houndstooth luggage.
What a way to go. That's how I'd like to go. And, well, okay, it wasn't the end of segment 1 just yet, because that's when, you know, Pizzazz is like, hey, one of the holograms is gone. And the Misfits are all celebrating because they're technically the main act now that Jem can't perform, and I don't think they should be celebrating.
The holograms seem confident that Aja wouldn't just run away, but considering how they sometimes treat each other, I don't know where they get that confidence.
I mean, you gotta think. Let's be honest here. Literally last episode, Kimber just up and walked away.
Yeah, they're a little too sure.
But I mean,
my opinion.
Thankfully they're correct, but, you know, end of segment 1.
I will end orphan regret, is what I wrote. Ashley is suddenly not so sure that it was a harmless joke, so orphan regret.
And what regret to have, because it definitely, I would have orphan regret at that point. I'm not even an orphan.
Yeah, it's cuts deep line straight to the core.
Segment 2 starts here, and you know, we're with Aja. She's pounding on the sides of the bus. I just made like fist pounding motions, even though this is radio and nobody can see that. You know, thank goodness for these attentive white people on this bus who are just like generic ass, middle-aged looking, like 30s ass white people just being like, honey, do you hear that horrible pounding sound? And he's like, oh, there's a flat tire.
Yeah, definitely not a woman down there.
So the nice white lady informs the bus driver, I think you got a flat tire. And we don't see anything from the bus driver's perspective. He's just like, yeah, sure, I'll just pull over. And as soon as the luggage thing opens, Aja darts out, and the bus driver, not even like confused or anything, he's just like, hey! And that's it.
Yep. And she's either like an Olympic sprinter.
Like an old blue bolt. Like a bolt out of the blue hair.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Like Aja the Hedgehog.
And Knuckles.
And so now Aja needs to find her way back, and she comes across two just catcalling idiots in a completely useless scene where they're arguing to each other about where the casino is, and Aja just kind of stands there, and all it does is waste time.
Yep. What did I call them? Street punks, and they attempt to be helpful, but then there's an actual helpful motorcycle cowboy who comes and picks Aja up. And it's funny because, like, now that I'm repeating these things, even though I've seen it, I feel like I sound like I'm making this up.
Well, you know, it's odd because I have motorcycle cowboy written down to refer to that guy as well. And I've got a note here also that's a question of, does this series think that Nevada is Texas? Because we've got the big Texas cowboy man, and now we've got motorcycle cowboy. So
that's a really good point.
What the hell is going on?
There's been like a weird amount of cowboy hats, because we know that cowboy hats are supposed to denote a thing.
Yeah, they're supposed to be Texas, quite honestly.
So I don't really get what they're going. There's a representation problem when it comes to region in Gem and the Holograms. This is just the tip.
Nevada is just North Texas. Let's be honest.
Sure.
And there's a traffic jam, unfortunately. So the motorcycle cowboy has to let Aja go. Doesn't even ask her name. He doesn't ask for his name. He's just like, see you, little lady. And he was just a helpful cowboy.
Yeah. You know what? It's nice that people can just help each other without any, like, expectation.
I wish we could go back to an America like that, where you could get on a motorcycle with a cowboy who will gladly drive you to a casino.
God, if only.
So Rio, being a little suspicious, is like, "Do you mind me checking out your dressing room here, Pizzazz?" And Pizzazz, being Pizzazz, doesn't scream at him for some reason. She just goes, "Oh, sure, Rio."
Pizzazz is way too good for Rio. Or at the very least, even if like she's not a good enough person, which I think is debatable because Rio's not exactly Saint Rio.
No, not at all.
She's definitely too rich for him.
Yes, well, that's the other thing. Here we are again talking about what does Rio actually do. Rio definitely does not make a very good salary, and I think even like Pizzazz's dad like wants the best for Pizzazz, and I think even he'd be like, "Oh no, get that purple-haired fuck out of here."
Yeah. Oh God, what is he wearing? The pink shirt, the weird gray slumpy jacket. Get him out.
And Pizzazz is like, "Hey, if you dump Jem, I could do great things for you." And Rio doesn't deny that he's like that he's Jem's boyfriend.
Because he doesn't know what's up.
I mean, the least he could do is say, "Jerrica Benton is my girlfriend."
Also, no, Pizzazz.
Right, exactly. In a fit of very cartoon moment, Aja arrives just in time. So, yeah.
Woo.
Good job on your plan, Misfits. Didn't work. And, I believe, I'm pretty sure Aja just goes, "Hey, well, hope you don't mind warming them up for us." And Roxy delivers the immortal line of, "I wouldn't warm up leftovers for these no talents."
Slay, Roxy, slay.
I think that was Roxy. I don't want to be wrong, but I'm just going to say that it was Roxy.
It was either Roxy or Pizzazz.
Well, obviously.
And one of the things that I do appreciate is Roxy is definitely the one who they say like, "Oh, they've been talking a whole lot about how there's a penalty clause, and that's like the big thing. So like, if you don't perform, there's a penalty clause, and it's
you're gonna have to pay all this money."
And Roxy just straight up says, "Don't bother even talking to us about a penalty clause," and then they leave, or they don't perform certainly.
Yeah, and I have here that the Misfits are exempt from penalty clauses because they are threatening. And Gem and the Holograms run on stage. They don't have instruments, and too close for comfort.
Great.
They're the visuals of the song are mostly them driving and looking like they're gonna die.
Yeah, Gem is driving really recklessly, like she wants to see the face of death and kiss it.
And that might be why Gem doesn't drive, because she's driving in this scene.
Yeah,
something
after
that she
this,
does not
they're
normally
like,
do.
"No, thank you." There's a lot of visuals of like Gem and Rio kind of eluding each other.
Yeah, a lot of them kind of missing out, like the subway doors closing and shit like that. That classic trope.
Can I tell you what my favorite note that I wrote for this song is?
Oh, what's that?
Rio's hand gets stuck in a bus door. He's so hooked for the rest of the series.
Hey.
That visual is just really funny to me. I crack myself up.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, Gem's hair looks kind of weird throughout the video. Well, that's one thing.
In this one, and also later in the episode, I wrote this note too. Her hair looks like Rapture's from season 3.
Yeah. Which that's a long way down the ways, but I'm sure you can Google the picture.
But
or, you know who we're talking about here. Yeah, Too Close for Comfort is a good song. Not much in the visuals other than them dying. And there's a nice moment where Gem and all the holograms are there, but Gem puts her hands up in like a stop motion, and a giant stop sign comes flying towards the screen.
Sure.
And the only other note I really have is this song fits the theme of Rio, Gem, and Jerrica all kind of going through that weird love triangle.
Yep, and hook hand, like Dr. Hutch from Rocko's Modern Life.
Hey, there we go, 2 episodes in a row with Rocko's Modern Life references.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot about that.
Good. We'll try and make it every episode.
Oh yeah, that's great considering I haven't seen any of that series in a really long time. We're gonna be stretching.
I'm surprised you were able to remember her name.
I think that's it.
Yeah, no, it is. It's Dr. Hutchinson.
Oh, I just said Dr. Hutch.
Yeah, well, if they call her Hutch.
I don't remember that at all.
Whatever.
See, next week I'm just going to have to sing the Lumberjack song from Monty Python, and that's going to be our reference.
Perfect. Whatever. So yeah, the Misfits are shit-talking Ashley because she messed up, or somehow it's her fault that these attentive white people helped Aja get out of the bus. And there's this weird moment where like they're shit-talking here, and I got distracted. I wasn't really sure what they were talking about because like they kind of zoom in towards the door, and they show Ashley opening the door in like a zoom in, but then they show Ashley closing the door as it zooms out. That they're like clearly like they were looping the footage there or something, and then they cut to something else, and then they cut to the same shot of Ashley like closing the door again.
I don't remember any of this.
It was very jarring. Like I said, I have no idea what the hell they were talking about. Just I mean, obviously they were shit talking here because I have that written down here.
And they did not animate very well that she was eavesdropping, I guess.
I don't know. To me, it's weird. It's always weird when you see something zoom in and then immediately zoom out. So.
Yeah, well.
And it's not even like, it wasn't like a quick zoom or anything. It was just kind of like a whatever. It looked stupid. Is the bottom line. But thank goodness for Eric Raymond, who is here and he has a plan. Guess what? It's Zipper.
Oh shit! See, I wasn't expecting it to be Zipper, which is weird because usually it's Zipper.
And
man, that was genuine surprise you just heard out of my mouth.
And so Zipper has a plan. Well, Eric has a plan, I should say. Zipper will be there eventually, but Eric's like, don't worry, I got plan B, which I guess is a harebrained scheme that he came up with immediately, or it was the scam that he came up with, unbeknownst to the Misfits, because like what would happen if Eric called like, hey, I got a plan to take down Jem, and the Misfits are just like, oh no, we put one of them on a bus, so it's okay.
Well, they're doubling down, clearly, because eventually Aja will get back, but if Jem goes to jail, she's in jail forever.
That's, you're right, and when you're right, you're right, and when you're right, you're right, you're right. Yeah, so for some reason, Ashley is hiding behind like a cardboard cutout of Jem and the Holograms, and I guess Stormer notices Ashley like eavesdropping because she goes out to go and talk to her, and Ashley has the not appropriate reaction of "Don't hurt me."
Well, is it appropriate?
For anybody else, it would be appropriate.
She doesn't know that Stormer is the nicest yet, because Stormer's done her fair share in this episode of giggling at other people's misfortune.
True, that's very true, honestly. So but they share a nice, kind moment of being scared of Roxy and Pizzazz.
And like, to be fair, if it were Roxy or Pizzazz that had found Ashley, she wouldn't have been able to get a chance to say "Don't hurt me," because they would be kicking her in the stomach before the words came out.
They would slam her face through the cardboard cutout of Jem and the Holograms.
Yep. You're Aja.
That would, I think that would exactly be what happens, actually.
Yeah.
So Stormer and Ashley, while they're hiding behind this cardboard cutout of Jem and the Holograms, they see that Zipper's here, and Zipper's here with two goons, and Zipper says, "Put your masks on." So Kristen, I'm sure I mentioned this before, but Zipper wears a jacket that says Zipper on the back.
Joe, Zipper is not only a proper noun, but a noun. So that's a court-worthy defense. We'll just said Zipper, that doesn't mean it's me.
Hey, this is a popular jacket with the word Zipper on the back of it.
Also, I did want to point out that those masks aren't really masks as much as they're like bags with the holes from Django Unchained.
Yeah, they're bags with eye holes, basically. That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
And
lock punching.
Thankfully, they're not going to burn anybody or lynch them or whatever they were doing in Django Unchained. They're going to punch a lock with brass knuckles, which I don't know if that works. I don't know if you could break a chain with brass knuckles.
They must have had to do that because they couldn't do the typical media shoot the lock, right? Because it's a cartoon. I mean, right. I guess they could have a crowbar, but that's probably harder to animate.
Probably, yeah. I think. Christy Marks is just like, how do I
logic to this?
Christy Marks is just writing it down, like, just have him punch it, whatever. I don't care.
The kids aren't gonna notice.
And I don't care about 20-year-old assholes talking about it.
20-year-old assholes with podcasts.
Oh my god, Christy Marks invented podcasts.
Holy shit.
But they take the money from this vault, like, very easily, and then
I wrote down that the bomb sounded like a motorcycle.
It did. You're right. It made like a motorcycle revving noise almost. And then they leave the vault, and when they're barely 2 steps from the vault, they take their masks off. So what was the point of the masks in the first place?
They just wanted to wear them.
And so we learn that the plan is to plant the money in the vault in Jem's room.
In duffel bags that say Jem.
Yes, in a Jem duffel bag that is overflowing with money.
They implicate Jem because the bags say Jem, unlike the zipper jacket that says Zipper. They're different things.
Oh my god.
Because you know what? The noun Jem is spelled G-E-M.
J-E-M, that's a name. That's a singer. I know that lady.
Yeah!
And, so they get off stage. It's like, hey, great concert. And then some guy comes over and is like, hey, somebody stole your money. And Texas Man is like, oh my god, I love money. Who could do that?
Well, to be fair to him, I love money too, so I would also be pretty upset.
Yeah, but this Texas guy, he really loves money.
Yeah, but then the Misfits implicate Jem, and they say, search her room, and I wrote down, Kimber freaks out at this, and I wrote, if no one stopped Kimber, she would just be pulling hair and scratching people.
That's true, yeah, no, whoever held her back, I wrote down that Kimber was, like, fucking ready to fight. She's like arms like she's getting off a plane. Her arms are flying everywhere.
Like that happens more than I recognized at this point.
What, that Kimber is just very violent?
Yeah, and
Quick
if
to
no one
violence?
stopped her, she would be as bad as Roxy and Pizzazz.
Can we trade Kimber for Stormer?
Please. Please.
But yeah, the detective dude is he's there, and he's like, well, time to put this lady in handcuffs. So Jem's in handcuffs, and that's the end of segment 2. Is Jem's gonna go to jail, I guess. Thank goodness at the beginning of segment 3 for Ashley, who runs in and she says, "Oh no, I know, I didn't see him do it." To which Pizzazz betrays Ashley immediately. Well, I guess Ashley betrayed Pizzazz and Roxy first, so
Yeah,
it's only right.
It's only fair.
It's only fair that Pizzazz goes, "Why trust her? She can't be more than 12."
To which he replies, "I'm 13."
And I have the note, Ashley is just as loud as Pizzazz. And, not only that, but Jem's immediately like, yeah, no, Ashley wouldn't lie. She's a good orphan. But nobody's really asking. I mean, I guess it would complicate matters a bit if Jem started going, Ashley, why are you here?
No one cares. We determined this.
Because then the detective would be like, well, wait a minute. You know this girl. Why is she here? She's an orphan. Why'd you let an orphan slip out of your fingers without anybody knowing?
Who cares?
Who cares? Because that's the thing. Nobody's going to care about what Ashley has to say anyway. They'd rather take the word of this mysterious woman who talks like a fortune teller.
My note for this was, nailing it, Stormer. Nailing it.
Yeah, she speaks, and she's talking in like a fortune teller voice. And the detective guy, well, she's in disguise, wearing just like a hat and sunglasses and like a face cloth thing.
Because her makeup is tattooed to her face.
Yes, and it's impossible. Well, and obviously she had to throw her voice as well, otherwise they would know immediately. And the detective guys...
I know we can't tell for sure, because they're cartoon characters.
Right.
But I feel like I could almost guarantee the Stormer didn't have to change her voice at all, and Roxy and Pizzazz would not have noticed. Do either of those girls strike you as, like, perceptive?
No, I think they would be too busy staring at Jem in the handcuffs going, yes, we did it! Oh, fuck, we did it! I can't believe it!
Because you know who else doesn't make an effort to change her voice when she's in disguise? Fucking Jerrica!
It can only be the hero of our story.
Hi, this is Jerrica Benton. I'm looking for Jem. Oh, I'll get her. Hi, this is Jem. I'm never gonna let that go.
No, I really, you shouldn't, because, I mean, it's stupid, but I don't care. Much like with Ashley, I don't care. Much like everyone with Ashley, I do not care. And, yeah, so the detective guy even said, he refers to her as Mysterious Lady, or Mystery Lady. And
yeah,
he's just
Lady.
fine with hearing a testimony from this mystery woman who reveals herself to be Stormer, if we didn't, make it obvious already.
So they go through this whole thing while Stormer, Mystery Lady, is having the conversation behind the closed door, and Jem's like, well, Rio, I understand why Pizzazz hates me, but why does she hate you? And Rio does this whole little, I'm such a catch. Well, Pizzazz doesn't take rejection very well. Like, she should be just mortified that I didn't want to date her when I already have a girlfriend.
And that's also the end of the conversation. That doesn't denote any sort of, like, response from Jericho or Jem to be like, what, she hit on you? What the hell?
She doesn't know what to say because she's like...
Because she's in handcuffs and she can't think.
Yeah, that's all she can muster.
Also, Stormer keeps on, like, the fortune teller voice long after the door is closed. Like, the detective guy does a whole thing, like, all right, tell me who you are. And Stormer goes, I will tell you who I am. Like, why?
And at this point, the detective comes out and he's like, oh, they're free to go, right?
Yeah, that's it. An arrest that lasted longer than Kimber's rebellion.
I wrote down that the subtitles of Pizzazz being upset that the scheme did not work is, in brackets, shrieks. Which that's accurate. Yeah,
very accurate. And, yep, they're free to go. Everybody celebrates. And here we are back in Eric Raymond's office, where Eric Raymond comes up with the brilliant plan that, hey, maybe Jem's name isn't Jem. You know why I think about that? Because you, Pizzazz over there, your name isn't Pizzazz. It's Phyllis.
I feel like he makes one more point before Pizzazz screams, don't call me that. Like, she has a little bit of a delayed reaction. Like, yeah, the name has to seep into her skin before she can go, get it out. Yeah, no, Eric Raymond says pretty much a full sentence after he says Phyllis, and Pizzazz doesn't immediately, like, smack him in the face or anything for calling her Phyllis. I mentioned it in my notes, actually, earlier in the episode, when in the flashback it shows Pizzazz saying that Lindsay Pierce's show doesn't have enough class for the Misfits. Her full name was, of course, Phyllis Klaskgabor. So she want to make sure all of you guys knew that. The epitome of class. Absolutely. So you know what's the detective name? Epitome?
Malone.
Did you like that transition? Yeah.
Malone seems like a very sort of... I think Malone is a very, like, film noir-y kind of hard-boiled detective sort of name. This guy's like a skeevy loser.
It sounds like the kind of name I would say I had if I wanted people to think I'm a detective. Like, I'm Boxy Malone. And I'd smoke a cigar.
Yeah, but, well, obviously you can't show that in a kid's show, but he has, like, the weird...
I would eat a lollipop.
He's got, like, the pencil mustache, though. Like, the classic Hollywood sort of pencil mustache.
Yeah, he's creepy, but he is apparently going to... like, just follow them from the Countess de Boisson's fashion show, I guess.
Which, yeah, hey, the Countess is back. Good job, Countess. You are very French.
She works really quickly making fashion collections because, okay, we're on a timeline here where we're saying that by the time the Battle of the Bands happens, Gem and the Holograms will have been a thing for 6 months at the most.
At the very most.
Most fashion collections work like a year or like 9 months behind the season that they are designing for. I am just saying.
And they just, like, met the Countess very recently.
Like, the Countess stopped what her design team was doing. Said, no.
Do you think...
Get rid of all of that.
Do you think the Countess...
Start over.
Do you think the Countess even did that, or did she look at, like, the summer collection and was like, no, what are we calling that? No. Gem and the Holograms.
You know what? Knowing the fashion industry as I do, that is way more likely.
She was striking
Just
while the iron was hot.
rebrand it!
And why not? Women are going to be wearing pillbox hats everywhere. It's going to be great.
Hell yeah, Jackie O!
Which, that is what Gem is wearing right now, right? The Jackie O outfit? Because I believe she changes later.
I think so, yeah. And this is combated headpiece-wise by Roxy wearing what I like to call head seaweed.
And Aja is dressed in my favorite dress that Aja wears, of like the beret kind of Kangol hat kind of thing, and the sport jacket with the triangles all over it.
Yep, the triangle jacket.
It's too ridiculous, I would say. But yeah, the Countess goes, hey, time for Gem and the Holograms, and here's our third song, Truly Outrageous, which we're going to play for you right now because it is truly outrageous.
So French. You know, my most popular note for this song is this music video that is definitely not happening.
What is that?
Do you want to know how I know it's not happening?
Is it because
everything looks like drugs?
I was gonna say it's because Rio transforms from like a bird at one point.
And there's a unicorn.
There's
a rainbow shaped like a heart.
Yeah, there's the Gem air balloon, which I believe I talked about once before.
3 Rios, which is 3 Rios too many.
A common theme in music videos.
Unfortunately. At some point, I'm not sure where this takes place in the actual song, probably near like beginning to end, I wrote fucking Rio in tights, god damn it, fucking shit.
Now it's pretty late when Gem is shown to be like a princess with the tall hat, and a bird flies in, and I have the note, Princess Gem, love bird. And then the bird transforms into... Bird becomes Rio dressed like Peter fucking Pan.
There is, besides those fashion atrocities, the cute, like, body contouring polka dot dress, the pink polka dot dress that Jem wears in this music video. I really like that dress.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I see in my notes here that this is where the trench coat from Twilight in Paris makes an appearance.
Yeah, that's where her hair looks really, really like Rapture's.
Yeah, kind of like all over to one side, kind of.
And they're flying, therefore, this is not happening. Put the stamp on it.
I honestly think that because Rio, transformed from a bird into Peter Pan, that this did not happen. That's where
on that one too.
That's where I draw the line. So all three of the music videos this week, they are not based in reality, thank God.
Mm-hmm. And my final note for this music video is too many Rio, 0 out of 10. But I really like this song.
Yes, good, bad video, good song.
Yeah, there's a reason that this is the one that we put in the episode. It is one of the best, I'd say.
I would agree. We were having the conversation before. Hey, what song should we put in this week? Oh, I don't know. Deception's pretty good. The other ones, I think we might go for the second one. And then I saw Truly Outrageous, and I was like, oh no, never mind.
Nope, gotta put this one in.
And so yeah, they play the song. It's great. The Misfits, for some reason, they grab like a spotlight and set off the sprinkler system. I guess just as like a prank, because like why would they do that otherwise?
Making mischief.
Well, I was gonna say Making Mischief shows up as a motif again, but it's for Malone when he's hanging out.
Well, he can make mischief too.
Well, I mean, by the end of the episode, he makes some pretty serious mischief, but
well, he makes property damage, I think.
Mischief is property damage. Let's just say that.
Sure. But yeah, the sprinklers go off. I have a note here saying, okay, do the earrings work when they're wet or not?
Right, yeah, that's a thing that happens a lot. Sometimes the earrings work when they're wet, sometimes they don't. It depends on... I don't even know if
convenient.
I don't know if it even depends on who's writing the episode, because it probably happened in another Christy Marks episode, too.
We will keep an eye out.
Yeah, for water earrings.
Because this annoys me now.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. But yeah, they go over to Synergy to change for some reason.
Let's get physical.
Yeah, Synergy is back. Where have you been? Getting physical.
Yep.
And there's all these like weird like glamour shots of them changing or something. Kind of.
The dialogue that goes with it, like I don't know what the voice director was doing, where these were the takes that they went with. Because conversations don't sound like that.
No, I mean it kind of goes with. Like, they'd kind of say half of a line, and then it'd cut to another shot, and then they'd finish their line, and then I don't know, it was weird.
It's like they realized that they needed a couple of more seconds to get the episode to the point they needed it to be at, and they were like, let's just make this dialogue way slower. There's nowhere else we can stretch this out. Even
after that useless scene with Aja and the fucking two dudes in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's, nope, we gotta stretch it right here.
Humans don't talk like that.
I have the question here, Kristen. How does Jem change outfits? Is it a normal hologram thing, or does Jem have physical clothing?
I think it is a hologram thing, based on kind of how some of the hologram disguises work later in the series.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it seems so odd that they all come here to change, and then just I guess Jerrica's just kind of standing around waiting. I mean, she turns back into Jerrica anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, I guess like the intention from her father was always like, Jerrica is Jem, and he knows that everyone else are too, and they will need ridiculous 80s clothes.
Probably. Also, wait a minute. If you wait. If they go in there to change and she's Jem, and they leave and she's Jerrica, and Malone is too busy with the fuck, like, did he not notice that?
I didn't think about that, and now I am. Now I'm pissed.
I didn't think about it either until, like, I realized, wait a minute, she turned into Jerrica, because, yeah, he waits until they leave, and he goes into there to see what's going on, and Synergy, being professional, and a computer, doesn't show her dumb Olivia Newton-John face, and just proceeds to scream intruder, which makes this dude, who's supposed to be a detective, I would assume, even though he's, like, skeevy, I would assume he's, like, a professional, but he takes a chair and he just starts beating the fuck out of Synergy.
Yeah. He breaks the thing he was meant to find. Also, as if I wasn't pissed off enough, Synergy is going, intruder. We know for a fact that she can talk to Jerrica through the earrings. Synergy, what are you doing?
Synergy is just like, she doesn't feel like, I don't know. That's actually a very good question as to, well, I mean, they have to end the episode making you think Synergy is destroyed, so.
And not going, help, Jerrica! Help!
Well, I mean, that's true. She could have done that as well. And she actually very well might have done that, because I really don't remember how the next episode starts.
If I could rewrite this episode, then as Synergy is being smashed to pieces and we were supposed to assume that she is dead, her last words would be, "So summer."
Please.
No.
Please. please.
Grease Live was really good.
I didn't watch it.
It was really good. If you get a chance to watch it, you should watch Grease Live. It was great.
Good to know. But that's the end of the episode. So yeah, now would be the time to shill Grease Live, I guess. But nobody was really in much danger this episode, and thankfully, I guess it ends well. Synergy was in danger, I guess. She's a computer, so yeah. Yep. So that was Frame Up, and they didn't hang a single picture. It was actually a convoluted plan with Eric Raymond and Zipper, but at least he wasn't trying to murder anyone.
There were like 3 different plots going on, like skeezy plots, like Texas Man trying to make sparks fly, the Misfits trapping Aja in a bus, Eric Raymond making Zipper punch a lock off a thing and steal a bunch of money,
and frame Gem for stealing it.
The sprinklers, and then the detective.
You know, if Zipper could have stolen that money so easily, why didn't he just steal the money? Why did he have to plant it on Gem?
Because Eric has enough money.
I guess
he wasn't after the money. He was after trying to make a big crime happen that they could pin on Gem. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good plan.
I'll take that. Whatever. I have a question here about the fact that, Stormer stopped Gem and the holograms from being, arrested. But Stormer never really says anything when it looks like Gem and the holograms are about to die.
Well, she's paid her dues. There was only so much that she could be the bleeding heart of the Misfits before she gets bled dry.
Yeah, I was going to say that maybe she has a quota that she needs to fill before she can actually try and help somebody.
She's doing a bunch of good deeds, like that Nickelodeon show where there's the dog.
Oh, 100 good deeds for Eddie Dowd, maybe?
I'm not convinced at all that you would know what show I was talking about.
Are you, Kristen? I remember a lot of stupid shit from Nickelodeon, believe me.
I was trying to pick between that and My Name is Earl, but I didn't actually watch any of that show. I just know the premise.
So you'd prefer to reference a show that you maybe watched 12, 13 years ago at this point?
A really long time ago. The only thing I remember about it is that it got canceled before the 100 Deeds.
Yeah, some shit ass got turned into a dog, and he had to do good deeds. That's all I remember.
This episode is just so reference heavy, and for so many different types of things. It really says a lot about our shared eclectic interests, I think.
Yeah, I think so. We were all over the place today. And speaking of places to go, it's time to go to the place in the script where I read from where we list all of the places that you can reach us. This podcast, Can We Talk About Gem and the Holograms? Here's where you could reach us. You could find us on Twitter at cwtapod, at cwtapod. Let me be specific there. You can follow me at Octopus, AWKTAPUS.
You can follow me on Twitter at FunnyGirlTM, like trademark.
You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud. I don't know if Stitcher Radio is going to be a thing. I know I said it was, but I don't know how
We're working on it.
Yeah, whatever.
We're flying by the seat of our pants here. Give us some credit.
Maybe you can find us on there. Maybe you can find us on Netflix, whatever. Maybe you could find Gem on Google Video. I don't know. Leave a rating, give a review, like, comment, subscribe.
Dig us. Share us on Friendster.
Dig us, yeah. Like our MySpace page, because we actually don't have a Facebook page either, so whatever.
The MySpace page is actually for my rap music.
Yes, of course, which is, of course, as we all know, is the only thing that MySpace is good for anymore.
I have a mixtape about old Nickelodeon shows in the works.
I can't wait to hear the one about the Amanda show.
Yeah, it's the best one. Amanda show.
You can reach us at Gmail. Our Gmail address is cwtapod@gmail.com, and you could tell us about, hanging pictures or findings of your own mustached slimy detective man on your enemies, whatever he finds out.
We aren't usually so blatantly 90s kids.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, this is really rare for
today.
us. I apologize for making such a bad impression. If you don't know us already, usually it's a lot more Metal Gear Solid, not so much old Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah, well, no, we're really pandering with those references there. We got to be careful. We're gonna start talking about fucking Good Burger or something.
Yeah, let's get out before we get in too deep.
Yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. But it all comes to a head next episode. It's the Battle of the Bands.
Apparently, 6 months later.
6 months later, yes. It could be, for all we know, these first 4 episodes could have been like a week, and the next episode is the Battle of the Bands with like 4 months of downtime where nothing happened. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Who's gonna win the mansion? Who's gonna win full control of Starlight Music? Who's gonna take home the gold? The win ship. There's not really gold in this situation, but who's gonna win?
Pizzazz is gonna take home the gold because it's already at her home.
True. She's going to pick up the gold and put it back down because it is at her house. You know what? Can I be frank? It's gonna be Gem. Gem's gonna win.
Well, her name's on the cartoon, so.
This isn't an anime with a running plot or anything. It's Gem. They're gonna win, and but you should still see the result for yourself. You know, we're going to see it after all. I mean,
We're in for
we
the
know
long haul.
we've already watched it actually, but you know, I just spoiled it.
We'll be here for you.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about next time, so you know, make sure you join us where we will talk about more Gem and the holograms.